These are our news bulletin for tonight. A biography of one of the former New Zealand commissioners to Niue over 60 years ago was launched this week. Niue Primary have been working together with Rowendale Primary School for the past week. The Niue Met Office and other government departments have been in discussion this week implementing the new Common Alerting Protocol system for the past 2 days. This week, the biography of the life of former resident commissioner of Niue, Jock McEwen, from 1953 to 1956, was presented at the Public Service Building this week.
I was the second son of Jock. I had two brothers, David, who's older, and James, who's younger. And so when Jock was appointed resident commissioner of Niue in 1953, we all came here as a family and we lived here for 3 years. And I married Mary in 1966, 50 years ago, and she wrote the biography because it's better for someone other than a son to write a biography.
A time of a great deal of development here, and for example, new roads were made and roads were improved. What else, Andrew? Help me.
Well, he started the accelerate class at the school without the approval of New Zealand government at the time.
He was very interested in education, and there was no secondary school here at the time. Only the kids that were bright enough to win scholarships to New Zealand were sent to New Zealand to do secondary school. And while Jock was here, he discovered that quite a few children had not been to school at all, and he gave them the right to go to school until the age of 16, but there were only primary schools, so they would go up to the final year of primary school and then nowhere else to go, so they'd come back year after year until they were 16, and he knew that was not a good idea, so he started a post-primary class. That was at Tuwhakia, wasn't it?
Yeah. Initially at Tuwhakia, which is where I went to school.
And later on, that led to the development of the high school.
At Halamahanga.
Which I think was 1967, I think it was opened in Halamahanga, but of course it's moved since then.
Jock McEwen was the resident commissioner after the murder of Hector Larson by 3 escaped prisoners armed with bush knives.
Jock also learnt the Niuean language. He was a fluent speaker of Maori from when he was a kid, but he learnt Niuean, and while he was here he started writing a dictionary of the Niuean language, which he published in 1970. Caused a few problems because he changed the way you wrote the sound ng by writing ng in the dictionary instead of g, which the later dictionary went back to the g. But
I've noticed that yesterday we spoke up at the
day before at the government centre.
At the government centre, and the elderly people were nodding their heads and saying, "Yes, I remember when it was like that." But today it was the school children, and the younger people. Many of them didn't know what it was like before there was an aeroplane, an airport and planes coming regularly. And so I think it captures a bit of the history of Niue Island just between they actually arrived here, the McEwen family, on New Year's Eve at the end of 1953. So it's 54, 55 and
56.
Most of 56. And that was a time when quite a lot of development was happening here, and there'll be a lot of people that wouldn't remember that far back, and of course the young people may not have known anything about that.
But some of the kids at the school today were saying, "Oh, do you know the names of the nurses that was in that photo that was shown? Because I think my dad was named after one of them." Yeah. And so they were recognising people from that time in the photos. The photos we showed were mostly ones that Jock had taken. They were 35mm colour slides, with a cardboard surround on them. And I've been trying to scan some of them so that we could blow them up and have a good look at them.
The book has 4 parts and 14 chapters, but Chapter 5 is titled Misi Makawini and Niue. It solely is based on his trip here to Niue. The chapter reveals McEwen's preparations, challenges, and what he wanted to achieve working with the people of Niue. Teachers from Warrendale Primary have been working together with Niue Primary School faculty as part of an exchange program that began early this year. The exchange program has been in discussion since 2016 but had started in the month of May, with the principal of Niue Primary School, Mrs. Moka Vaha, attending Rowendale Primary, New Zealand for 1 week to do networking and gathering information.
I've been a principal in New Zealand for 11 years, and I was the first Niuean principal in New Zealand. So, I've been around in the game for quite a while, and I want to share my knowledge, and what better way to share that is with the Niueans in the Niuean context. So it goes back to there. So then I started communicating with Gayleen and with Bertha, and then finally I've been liaising over the last 6 months with Susie, who's working with the Niue government to put together a program. In May, Moka came to New Zealand and shadowed me for the week. And so in that week, I took Moka to a various number of schools. I took her to Pacific principal meetings. I got her to network and meet with other principals, just so that Moka could lift her profile and also learn from others that have been in the game for a long time. And so from there, the next part was then, as part of my teachers' appraisal system and their inquiry, we're looking to share some of the best practice that we know at Rowendale. And so I said, well, why don't I take a small group of teachers from New Zealand, from my school, who are part Niuean or full Niuean, to Niue Primary School, to team teach, to work alongside the teachers, to build their cultural identity. So my teachers are here to offer professional learning and development for the Niue teachers after schools in the areas of relationships for learning, in the areas of reading and writing. And so they've been able to share best practice on what we do at Rowendale. But at the same time, the Niue teachers are listening to what we're saying, and then they're going, well, we do that, but we could do that. And then they're sharing with my teachers, and so my teachers are going, wow, that's a fantastic idea, I can take that back for me. So we're all on the same level. It's not for us to come here and give all the answers, it's just for us to get together and work alongside each other, collaborate, start a relationship, see where it goes.
The purpose of the program is for teachers to exchange teaching techniques and develop different pathways that will benefit the development of teachers and students. The Rowendale teachers will be departing tomorrow. New Meteorological Service are potentially looking at installing the Common Alerting Protocol system that detects and alerts any kind of emergency over many different alerting systems.
Well, the CAP system they're using is what would be really helpful to us first responders, because on a fire point of view, if I was to use it, it would be easier for us to send out alerts to everyone in Niue, so we're able to pinpoint where the area is and simply write one message, and it would also let everyone know what is happening. So that could be anything from an aircraft fire to a bushfire, where we need to tell people to maybe stay away from this area until it's over. I think once we get a full grasp of it, we can really use this to our advantage. I mean, there was also other things we could use it for, as in for smoke alarms, which something we are looking into installing. And we can not just install the smoke alarm, but also install maybe a little speaker that could send out our early warning for tsunamis or maybe cyclones, so there's a lot of things that this technology can help to improve our warning system, just to let everyone know what's happening.
CAP is designed for all hazards such as weather events, earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, public health emergencies, power outages, and many others.
The basic idea of Common Alerting Protocol is, let's put the data needed to process the alert right in the same message with the information that humans need to understand the alert. So we have what the computers need and what the humans need, both in the same message. It's data with information, and when you package them together, it makes it much better to get alerts out through a lot of different means. The situation today is if you want to reach everybody with all of the devices that they use to get information, whether it's television or radio or internet, you have to do a lot of special interfaces to get the message to them the way that they need it. If you do the common alerting protocol, those interfaces are already created. They're already out there. So that, for example, as soon as a department like the police go ahead and put a CAP, common alerting protocol alert, onto the internet, then people with cell phones can get that alert automatically because it's in a format that the cell phone providers can use. If they're using a Google tool like Google Maps or Google Search, Google knows where your phone is or your PC, and they'll give you that alert at no expense to the alerting authority because it's easy for them to process because it's a data record in the common alerting protocol format.
The system increases effectiveness of detecting hazards and also sends warnings simultaneously to departments, which will help the community to be more prepared in case of emergencies. The CAP meeting started yesterday and has concluded today. And that concludes our news bulletin for tonight.